This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Swung on, drive to left field. Did he do it? He did! 4 home runs for Nick Kurtz! He is 6 for 6!
Swing and a drive, deep to left. The A's take the lead in grand fashion.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe from humidors to walk-off dingers.
That swung at a high, deep drive to right. Smith is back. He will not even watch it. And the A's win it on a walk-off by Nick Kurtz.
We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I'm going to be honest. You guys just missed one of the most ridiculous conversations in the history of this program between Nate the Great, Commander Cody, and then I walked in on it, and I pretty much put the cherry on top. Let's just say it was something we wouldn't talk about on this show because we're a family-friendly show. And the worst part of it, it ended up in Berkeley, California. And didn't go well. This would have been like 25 years ago. Didn't end well, Commander. Did not end well.
As Nate and I found out.
Yeah, that is like the moral of the story here. It did not end well. Kids, do not try this at home. And whatever you do, don't do it in Berkeley. It will not end well.
It all started with, I heard the music Nate was listening to in the background at the studio, and then it just went in this whole conversation that we just weaved in and out of.
It's one of the things that scared me about sending my kids to Cal. Was my experiences in Berkeley as a young man. It does not end well. All right, what do we got today?
All right, well, it's our last day of 12 in a row.
Oh, by the way, yeah, we have done 12 straight. I guarantee you there are 30 teams in baseball. We are the only show that has been on 12 straight days in spring training. I guarantee you nobody else has had this schedule.
We're in mid-season form right now.
But, oh my God!
But we'll have Tyler Soderstrom,
and not only have we done 12 straight shows, they're always before noon.
Yeah,
not like nighttime when we normally work.
We have 2 of those next week. Programming note: Thursday and Friday are both night games, so we'll be on at 4:00 next Thursday and Friday.
I mean, this spring we've had there's a photo shoot. You need to be there at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, we've been up it's like 6:30.
My God. We were there at 5:30.
I was there for that NBC photo shoot.
Oh, yeah,
You've got to be dressed, makeup, ready to go at 6:30. We're in baseball. You don't get up early. Our games are at night. Everything we've done this spring has been and I know most people are like, oh, that's like normal.
Nobody cares.
But for us, that's not normal. I'm on the air until after midnight every night. What do you do at 6:30 in the morning? Yeah, we've gone 12 straight. Congratulations. You made it. 12 straight.
I'm trying to, you're going to leave me hanging here, huh?
Uh-oh.
There we go. For everyone, we just fist bump for everyone watching.
My buddy's texting me as we're sitting here going to grind out a split squad game today.
Playing the Padres here on A's Cat and KST, Talk 650 KST, and also NBC Sports California. A's Padres from Hohokam today.
I have one of my dear friends, Dave Jennings, was our catcher at San Jose State. He went the route of the business degree. I always tell people, because there's been over the years, I've been doing this a long time, right? So I've had all these kids come up to me, I want to get into broadcasting. I'm like, no, you don't. Go get a business degree. And once you get a business degree, you can then do anything you want. Then you want to get into broadcasting. Well, he didn't get a broadcasting. He didn't get radio, television, film. He got a business degree, and he's worked for Merrill Lynch in Detroit forever. He's sending me pictures. He's in Tuscany, Italy, and then he's in Rome, and he's sending pictures. And I'm sitting here talking about a split squad game in March.
In our remote A's Cast studio.
Yes.
Not in Italy.
He's rich, and in Italy, I'm with you going, I don't know about Kurtz in the leadoff. I mean, seriously. The path that you take in life, folks. Get a business degree. That is we got, by the way, whether you care or not, if this was football, you'd care, because the minute you say fantasy football, everybody perks up. What? Our guy Tyler Soderstrom is kind of becoming a darling in fantasy baseball drafts.
Oh, yeah, I'm targeting him in mine because you can get him. His ADP, his average depth is pretty good. You can get him he's probably like an 8th, 9th, 10th rounder, depending on people in your league. It's good value, unless someone already kept him, which you should have.
I am not a fantasy baseball player. What is added depth?
This is your average depth. So if he is ranked in like the 80s, that's where you can probably get him. That's where if like people project him to go in like the 80s. That's where you think that's like an 8th or 9th round pick, depending on people are in your league.
He is better than that. Tyler Soderstrom could be.
Remember, defense isn't part of fantasy, but his offensive numbers were good. Hit 25 homers, had 93 RBIs, good OPS.
He's probably gonna be one of these guys that's gonna put up when you old schoolers say the back of the baseball card. He's probably gonna have some 3,000 seasons.
Yeah,
and probably this year. I mean, it'll be like 33 home runs, 110 RBIs. He's got extreme value.
Like Jeff Passan did a preview for all 30 teams on ESPN.com. It's on the front page there for the MLB tab. And he talked about the A's. He said how the season hinges on Nick Kurtz, and he had high praise for Nick Kurtz. When we talk about Kurtz and Leo, so we can dive into that. But
our season hinges on just Nick Kurtz. Is Nick Kurtz going to pitch this? Is he Towny now? Is he pitching?
Is he going to get 4,374 outs for us? Or?
And here comes the big fella to close that. How badass would it be if Nick Kurtz came in and closed games out?
That's a big closer.
Like, hits the jack and then gets on the mound and he's pumping 98, 100.
Would be exciting. I'll give you that. I'm now visualizing him on the mound, big number 16 coming in the close.
Oh, my God. He just big man throwing gas. But I don't know. Did Nick, we've never asked him.
Well, we're going to target him for opening day. So
yeah. So Nick, if you're listening to the clubhouse, you're our main target for opening day.
That's first question. Did you ever pitch before?
Yeah. Did you? What do you got? Can you throw? Because a lot of who was the guy? Ike Davis. Remember we had Ike Davis playing first base out of Arizona State, and then in a couple blowout games he came in. You went, hey, this guy's really legit. He pitched at Arizona State. Nick Kurtz, two-way player.
But yeah, Soderstrom in the article. Jeff Passan goes on to talk about fantasy baseball, and he goes how you should target Soderstrom and how he's going to probably put up similar numbers to Brent Rooker. Rooker is a potential 35, 40 home run guy, and you're saying Soderstrom's going to be that, and you could take him lower in your draft.
Brent Rooker's an all-star.
Yeah, two-time all-star.
He's a legit all-star caliber run. Brent Rooker is a big league run producer.
Looking to be the first player since McGuire to have 30 homers in 4 straight seasons. That's pretty legit for us.
Super legit.
So that's
we just went through know your Friars, know your Padres. You start looking at a lot of these organizations that haven't been around since 1900, right? Because when you're like the A's and you've been around for all these years, you've got guys like Jimmy Fox in Philadelphia. You've got Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Reggie Jackson, Jason J. You've had all these years of these mashers. And you can say the same thing. You can look in the Cardinals or the Yankees or any of these organizations that have been around for, what year are we?
This is our 125th season.
Yeah, 125 years, you've had great players. You think about Red Sox. I mean, teams that have been around, Reds, teams that have been around forever. But then you got the expansion teams. They don't seem like expansion teams, but teams that were created in the 60s, or they don't have the records that a lot of the all-time records that the old school teams do. And so when you look at like who's their all-time, like the Mariners, we were joking going into this thing. All the Mariners. What was the first year of the Mariners? Were they 69 too? They were 60 something.
Let me look because we're gonna do them next. We play them next Thursday.
So you're prepping early.
We're gonna start 1977.
Oh
Mariners.
Wow, not close. Padres were 69.
Yes. So
Mariners are 77. So think about that. I'm older than the Mariners.
And we looked at
you go to the Mariners history books. They don't have anybody from the 20s and the 30s. They don't have Lou Gehrig or Babe Ruth. They've got Griffey, Ichiro, and Edgar Martinez. That's their history.
Yeah. And then pitching, you have Felix and Randy Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. But the Dodgers, I mean, they date back to Brooklyn. The Giants date back to New York. Willie Mays first played with the New York Giants, right? Mel Ott was a great New York Giant, like Hall of Famers that, all of us old school teams, Giants got Hall of Famers from New York. We got Hall of Famers from Philly. I mean, a lot of these teams have been around for a long time, but then a lot of our teams haven't. And so the record books are interesting. All right, back to Sodi.
So Sodi will be on with us. We'll play Aaron Savali, who's on the mound today for the A's, versus Michael King and the Padres, who they are not sending over their A lineup, just so everyone knows. Obviously, Machado and Tatis are playing the WBC.
So basically,
no Crone zone.
We know one guy in the pod. We've heard of one guy in the Padre lineup.
If you're a casual baseball fan, you probably heard of one guy. If you're a dork like me, you've heard of some of the other guys who have been on bad teams.
You have heard some of the other guys.
Well, Pablo Reyes was a Pirate, so that's one reason I know him.
Okay, non-Pirate.
Besides Nick Solak, the other guys I've only ever heard. I don't know anything about them really.
Nick Solak's the only guy I know.
So we're throwing out a good lineup 1 through 8.
What are we throwing out? And the other game. By the way, we'll get into this, but you'd be shocked how many games are left. Our other game is against Milwaukee.
Correct. They're playing Milwaukee. Gage Jump is pitching that game for the Athletics against Kyle Harrison. So that's a matchup of two young lefties. It'll be interesting to see what the
Giant Kyle Harrison
and Red Sox, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. But in that lineup, you have Andy Ibanez, Geloff, Colby Thomas, Cade Marlett, Leo, Tommy White. So you got some guys that are in big names in that lineup for us. And then Brewers are putting out Frelick, they have Andrew Vaughn in their lineup. So the game against the game that you'll hear on Ace Cast and watch on NBC Sports California and also on Talk 650 KSTE. Some of the guys for the Padres. Bryce Johnson, I remember him because he played for the Giants. Jose Miranda, Nick Solak, Rodolfo Duran, Pablo Reyes. I mean, it's like that clip from Major League. Who are these bleeping guys?
Who?
So the only guy, but Michael King had a good year last year. So Michael King and Aaron
So
Savali.
you'll know Michael King, and he'll be there for 3-4, and then it's
bye-bye.
More random relievers.
So keep an eye on, if you can, keep an eye on the old box score of the Brewers and A's, because Gage Jump is on the mound, and you got Leo and Tommy White in the lineup over there. But Henry Bolte is hitting 8th for the A's in the lineup against the Padres. So keep an eye on that. And obviously 1 through 7 are going to be regulars. Kurtz, Langelier, Soderstrom, Rooker, Wilson, McNeil, Muncy.
Gage Jump. He'll have one, maybe gets out one more time after this.
It's having a really good spring.
The impressions that you make on the front office. Going to start the season, we believe. I mean, we don't know. We don't know who the 26 are going to be with us, but we'll just guess that he's going to start with Fran Reardon in AAA. By the way, the commander is wearing the Fran Reardon T-shirt.
I'll stand
today.
up so people can see. There it is, the Fran Reardon Manager of the Year. There's his face. So
where's mine?
I gave it to you on.
Your lady was Bogarting mine, if I remember correctly. I did not bring that home.
Oh, I don't have it. We'll have to look. But thank you to the Aviators and Matt and Everett for getting the shirts.
Where is my Fran Reardon shirt?
Maybe Road Trip Mike. He was there. Don't put anything past him.
All right, so. Yeah, Gage Jump is, a few of these kids have really made an impression to where you've shown the front office, hey, I'm ready to go. I mean, that is the number one thing. That's why I always say don't listen to people who act like spring training is just, hey, these guys are getting ready for the season. No, they're not. You're showing your wares. Yes, there's a few guys who have guaranteed contracts, who have guaranteed positions, but most of the human beings playing in spring training don't. And you're showing, proving, and planting a seed. It's powerful when you do something right in front of the front office. It's one thing that we can now watch video And you can watch what a guy does in Vegas or Midland or Lansing. But to be able to be there and see the player, you forget these front office guys, they're regular people. And we're swayed by what we see in front of us versus what we see on video and what we get with data. When you actually see it with your own eyes right there, it makes a bigger impression on you. So when you think about some of the springs that these young kids are having, it's huge for them, for their development and their futures. Because once you leave, the front office is going to go, yeah, that kid was really, really playing well. And then when the reports start coming in that you're doing the same thing in Vegas or Midland, that's big. So what we all know at the big with the big club is that guys will get hurt. Unfortunately, knock on wood, you wish all 26 guys would stay healthy all year long, but that's not how that works. So when opportunity comes, you have it fresh in the front office's mind. Remember how well he threw the ball. Remember how well he was hitting. And now he's carried that on into the season. We're an organization that doesn't sit there and go, oh, my God, we don't want to start his clock. We'll be like, call him up. So these outings and these at-bats are so critical. And some of these young men have made, I know for us, you go, wow, they've made a big-time impression. So if we feel that way, David Forst, Dan Feinstein, Billy Owens. Billy Owens is down there sitting in the stands right behind home plate all of these games. You don't think when the GM and the assistant GM, you don't think they're saying the same thing we're saying? They're seeing what we're seeing. So a guy like Gage Jump, every single time he goes out, you're like, oh, boy, this kid is ready. This kid has electric stuff. And it's the one thing that everybody agrees on when they evaluate us heading into the season. If there is one common denominator, well, there's two common denominators that we have when you look at everybody, whether you're going to the baseball preview magazines, I got one in my hand, or you're online or anywhere you're looking. Jeff Passan said it again today on this ESPN thing you read. Two common denominators. We are going to hit. We are going to score runs. We've got a legit high-powered Major League Baseball offense. That's one. Number two, kind of where everybody else is, except for a few teams, but we're all in one big boat together. Who's going to pitch? Who's going to be there? Who's going to get the outs? I mean, that's a boat that you could probably say at least 25 teams are in. And it's the state of our game. Everybody, it's like, how are they going to pitch? Like, you can go in right now and like yesterday, we know that the Texas Rangers have a pretty good starting staff. No clue about their bullpen. Seattle Mariners got a pretty good starting staff. The team that won the World Series for the second straight year, on paper looks great, but you already know you got no clue what you're getting out of them.
No, Blake Snell's already out 6 weeks.
I mean, you got no idea. They used 19 starters last year. They won the World Series. Milwaukee should have a pretty good starting staff, even though Peralta's gone. They got a lot of guys. They got a stable of dudes.
No, like Kyle Harrison's a guy that they're going to try to turn around.
So there's a couple teams that you're going to look at and you go, okay, they got a starting staff. But I mean, for everybody, I mean, I think we're going to have a good starting staff. I knock on wood, we're going to have a great starting staff. But that is one, we're going to hit. Two, what's the pitching going to be like? But that's for really everybody. Everybody's got, we don't know. So that actually makes me feel better. Like, hey, we're all kind of in the same boat, trying to figure it out. We have the makings. Like we've talked about, good luck to Luis Severino, but keep him in bubble wrap with the Dominican Republic. Springs, if he can give you the outings again. Morales, what are we going to get out of him? He's going to play a big part. Loved watching Jacob Lopez really develop. Savali's going. He's a veteran. Hopefully going to give you a ton of starts, ton of innings. Then you got guys like Ginn. He threw, I believe he was on yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Not great news about Gunnar Hoagland. He's got now it's a back issue.
Yeah, so Martin put it out there yesterday. He's now dealing with a back issue that will delay his start to the season. Remember, he was also dealing with a knee sprain and coming off hip surgery. So just a brutal start to camp and spring training in the season for A's righty Gunnar Hoagland. So he's one of the guys you were thinking to be in the mix as well. Jack Perkins, what's he going to be as a starter or reliever? So there's
he'll probably. I mean, it looks like he'll start as a reliever, but he can go as a starter.
Medina
will be a reliever. I don't see Medina starting anytime soon, but yeah, he got Mason Barnett.
Yeah, that's another one.
Right. There's a bunch of we got guys.
Yeah, Cade Morris is in the minor leagues. He's another guy.
We got guys, and then you think of Gage jump. I think we're a little too jump the Jamie Arnold bandwagon, like pitch him now. But I think they're gonna.
I blame the organization for that. That we got two rookies that came up really quick, and Wilson and Kurtz. So I mean, why not Jamie Arnold the same way?
Well, if he goes down there and just slices and dices everybody, I don't know.
I got a rookie that could maybe start the season on the roster. Lawrence Butler hasn't played in a game yet, and we got how many games left until spring's over? So say
he's played in games on
the backfield, but in an actual spring training game. I'm just saying say he has to start on the injured list. Does Henry Bolte start the season on them?
Oh God, Bolte's playing great.
He's the 382 average so far in spring. By the way, real quick, there's no source better than this one, but Jeff Kurtz, Nick Kurtz's dad, friend of the program, commented saying Nick was recruited as a left-handed pitcher out of high school. So before he went to Wake Forest.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mr. Kurtz, what was your son on the radar gun? Please respond.
Yeah, I can't trust the internet, Mr. Kurtz. You got to let us know.
Kurtz,
comment back.
So Nick Kurtz has contacted us?
Jeff Kurtz, Nick's dad, yes, has reached out on.
Jeff, what was the radar gun? Nick Kurtz, the two-way player, would be the greatest thing of all time.
He's a P1. He listens all the time. He listens and watches all the time.
Can you imagine if Nick Kurtz, let's say he's 95.
Well, the internet's telling me, AI's telling me he threw in the high 80s, peaking at 87.
All right. He's
older now and has more muscle. Maybe he throws harder.
But maybe Nick Kurtz he goes out there. He's Tom Glavine, but like way bigger.
Why don't we just do what every other pitcher does? Why don't we just set him the drive line in the offseason?
No. What if Nick Kurtz gets up there and he's like Dallas Braden with just the circle change and he's just nasty?
Speaking of Dallas, you'll hear from him later today because the game's on television, so I want to play Dallas Braden, the coach.
Dallas Braden takes Nick Kurtz under his wing and turns Nick Kurtz into just this inning eaters, throwing 88, sinking it, cutting it. He's got a great circle change. Rides the fastball up.
His dad has responded with, he had sharp stuff.
Oh, my God. We've got the scouting report. Nick Kurtz, he's now officially, we're going to a 6-man rotation. Nick Kurtz is on the mound, baby. Who's going to play first then? I'm not moving Sodi. Sodi's in left.
Tommy White, Tommy Tanks. He's not going to
be on the roster.
Who can
Banez.
Yeah, he can play. He can play first. Lawrence Butler's a big guy. Put him at first. It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's not that hard. Has Lawrence Butler ever played first base?
Wasn't he? I want to say. I'm going to.
Lawrence Butler. See, you know the problem with our guys? It's not a problem, but they're also confident. It'll be, oh yeah, I could do that.
I want to say
put Rooker at first.
I want to say he did in the minor leagues play first base. Because I remember that was his thing coming up. He was a first baseman outfielder. Lawrence Butler in his career has played 103 games in the minor leagues playing at first base.
Lawrence Butler's at first. Can you imagine? You know who Lawrence Butler would be like? He'd be like Will Clark. Will Clark or Sean Casey.
Oh, yeah,
these guys had like unbelievable conversations with Mark Grace. There's certain first basemen in the history of baseball that when you got to first base, You were about to have a long conversation, and you were going to be talking about your family. You're going to be talking about everything going on in your life. Can you imagine getting to first base and you're just chatting it up with Lawrence Butler? Lawrence Butler would be just, I mean, it'd be great. And you probably get distracted. He could distract you. He'd talk to you.
He'd be like,
you picked off.
He'd be like the guy in Major League. It's going to be hard to steal second base with your shoe untied, and you look down and he picks you off at first.
All right, so Nick Kurtz on the mound, Lawrence Butler at first. Rooker plays outfield, put Rooker in right. Cortez in right.
Yeah, you can have Cortez.
Well, you already got Henry Bolte now on the roster, so.
Yeah, that's
Henry
true.
Bolte.
Well, Bolte's on the roster. Butler's not there. So
give Denzel the day off, put Bolte in center.
Someone's got to play first if Butler's not there. So we'll figure it out. Abanez.
I guarantee you, like Tyler Soderstrom's so confident. Remember, he said, I can play shortstop. I bet Tyler could pitch.
Can Austin Wins play first?
Don't know.
I don't feel like looking it up. Some catchers can't play first, though, so I don't know.
Move over Shohei Ohtani. The best two-way player is no longer in Los Angeles.
Can you tell that we've done 12 in a row for talking about some hypothetical of Nick
No,
Kurtz?
I love it. Are you kidding me? We just added a whole different dimension to this club. Nick Kurtz, the pitcher.
This will be your first question the day when we do the first day before show of the season. Hey, so we have this hypothetical.
I mean, we have a scouting report that maybe you don't have, that you may have.
We got a guy that watched him for his entire career.
A new lefty on the mound. And by the way, all right. So quickly do it again. Who do we got?
We have Tyler Soderstrom, Aaron Savali. We'll have Dallas Braden, the coach, because the game's going to be on television today. Jenny and Dallas. And then we'll have Know Your Padres with Chris Carey and the Hall of Famer Ken Korach.
All right, 10 games left. I'm counting the split squad as one today. We have 10 games left in spring training. Things that I love, and then next, right here on A's Cast Live.
The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more. The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Baseball is back and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snap. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today. American League Rookie of the Year Nick Kurtz joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live to discuss his historic 2025 campaign and becoming the first Athletic to win the award since 2009.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, when it kind of got announced, we were all in Hawaii together. You know, Willie was in the same room as me when we were on the show, so that was really cool to kind of celebrate, as a team.
When you look back, what do you think of when you look back in this Rookie of the Year season? You had the monstrous game in Houston, historic game. What are the things that you really reflected on?
Just kind of the whole year as a whole. When you look at any kind of season, you have the parts where you feel really good at the plate. You have the days where you feel really bad, and then the majority is you're just trying to do what you can do that day to put the ball in play and get a base hit. it's not a good day if you don't get the team win as well. So that's kind of what I've reflected the most about is, I did all these great things, but it's got to lead to October. And that's the most important thing.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
Here in just a little bit, I am not going to defend Julio Rodriguez. I'm not going to defend him. But I am going to tell you just how ridiculous something that was put on Twitter and how everyone felt they needed to comment on it. It's kind of the problem in our world now. You just can't look at something. You feel you have to react to it.
Everyone has an opinion. Social media.
Well, you know what high school football coaches used to say? Everybody's got blank. Did you ever hear that expression?
I didn't play high school football, so no.
All right. Well, I can't say it on the air.
Everyone can use it. They can all.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Theater of the mind.
Everybody's got an opinion. I mean, what he said, we'll get into it. Julio Rodriguez from the World Baseball Classic. Just think World Baseball Classic versus World Series. You know, we for so long have complained that nobody says anything. And then when somebody says something, people freak out and jump down their road. It's like, man, this is why guys don't say anything. That's why Derek Jeter didn't say anything for 20 years in New York. Derek Jeter was brilliant. He had cameras in front of him before and after every single game, probably like no other player in the history of baseball. There is literally probably nobody that had as much media and especially cameras around him before and after even games he didn't play. Cameras at his locker before and after the game. He always talked. He was the ultimate professional, and he said nothing. They would go to him every day, ask him questions, and Derek Jeter would say nothing. He was the best at saying nothing, and he had to talk every day for 20 years before and after the game. It was brilliant. And then that way, no one was coming down his road.
Plus, he didn't have to worry about social media then either, so.
Well, it's probably worse. With I get social media, but he had cameras.
Yeah, he would have been on all over TV and newspapers in New York.
Yeah, he's got print. He's got real journalists in front of him. He's got television cameras, and it's CBS, the local CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox. They're all there every day. Say nothing. Well, I want guys to say stuff, and if they're going to say stuff, and then everybody's going to come down their road, it's like, it's okay that somebody has an opinion and you may not agree with it. You don't have to go lambaste the guy. It's how he feels. He has every right to feel however he wants it. And I actually agree with him in a way. I'm not going to slam him. I'm just going to agree with him.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's funny, and it's true. We'll play that for you in a little bit.
Yes.
I did get a message from one of our coworkers, Joey from the community team. He watched games with us last year. Our little crew of people who watched games with us in Sacramento in the River Cats conference room. Joey is one of them. He goes, "Should I draft Nick Kurtz in fantasy for the?" The direct message was, "Should I draft Kurtz in fantasy in case ESPN gives him pitcher eligibility?" So there's only a couple guys. Towny has it.
Who is like a comp, like a really big guy that didn't throw hard and just sliced and diced in the history of baseball?
Big guy that sliced and diced?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, a lot of guys didn't throw hard until the last 15 years, but.
All right, we'll think about it. All right, So speaking of Nick Kurtz, this is to me, and this would be my only kind of little worry. Nick Kurtz is a really good kid, right? And He's the type. He is super. One of the things that makes Nick Kurtz special is just not the numbers. Is that he is like supremely about team. Like if you were, some of you may have heard during the break, we play all these promos, and one of the promos is all about winning. He comes from a program that was winning. He likes to win. And like last year, we learned that he was a little uncomfortable with all of this attention and we're not winning. And he didn't, it's like, well, that means once we do start winning a lot, it's going to be like, hey, now you got to talk all the time because you're winning. But he's about winning and not about me, I. But the one thing about this leadoff deal, and let me guess, he's leading off today. He's against the Padres.
Correct, he is. Leading off playing first base.
And I believe that he's hitting, 196?
Kurtz in spring training is hitting, I have the stats in front of me, but of course he's not. He's hitting 156 in spring.
156?
Yeah, 156. He's 5 for 32 in spring. But he does have a homer.
And we have those numbers for you from the leadoff spot at 242. 18 games, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. I wonder what his dad thinks as he's listening. Because the other numbers are, when Nick Kurtz hit second in the order, 14 games, hit 377. 377. 5 jacks, 14 RBIs. With a 1,220 OPS. When Nick Kurtz hits third, 31 games. That was the most. So you guys in your sample size, this is your biggest sample size. Hit 304, 1,076 OPS, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs in 31 games. So clearly the numbers show that he was more comfortable hitting second or third than he was in the leadoff spot. And then now he's primarily hit leadoff in spring, and it's 156. Deep down, I would like to put him in a room and go, where do you want to hit? Where do you want to hit? And then whatever he says, perfect. That's where you're hitting. And you're hitting there every day. It may not be leadoff, but there's this, we had the fascination, and it was with our guy Josh Donaldson when he went to Toronto. It was Trout in Anaheim. Best players got to hit 2, and Aaron Judge has been hitting 2 forever. Now we're back into the leadoff, and they're going to give us this, he hits more than anybody else because he gets his most at-bats. Well, I could care less if the guy's not comfortable. Does it work for Towny? Sure. But it's been proven he gets less RBI opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work for Schwarber?
Yes.
Great. But it doesn't work for everybody. The number one thing that coaches, not front offices are all about data now. Coaches' jobs are to put players in the best spots to succeed. Coaches are teachers. Yes, you need to challenge the pupil, but you also need to put the student in the best possible situation to succeed. Coaches need to put players in the best possible situation to succeed. I'm just throwing it out. Is this what's best for Nick Kurtz leading him off? I don't know. Well, so far, small sample size, the answer is no.
I guess the counter would be, if you don't have him lead off, who do you have lead off? Langoliers?
I'm telling you, who's having a sneaky good camp is our guy McNeil.
Yeah, he could hit lead off.
Jacob Wilson. Lawrence Butler, to me, swinging out of his shoes. I like Lawrence down. I want Lawrence to be in the mindset of driving the baseball, driving and runs. I like guys that are going to hit and can get on base in front of Nick Kurtz. But that's one of the things that when I'm looking at the things that I really like about spring training going on right now, I sent you a couple guys and a couple notes yesterday because we got basically 10 days left, 10 games. McNeil's had a really good camp. What's he hitting? 3-something?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at lead out.
I mean, we're not paying attention to it.
360.
He's hitting 360.
968 OPS.
You've come to a new team, right? This has to be, for Jeff McNeil, this has to be like, if I was Jeff McNeil, I got to be walking around every day going, this can't be real. This is heaven. Because he just came from, I'm not putting words in his mouth. I just think being on the Mets and what he's been through for all these years had to just be a grind. Like, you want to just show up and play. And that's not how it is in New York. And that's not how it is. The Mets always find there is a unbelievably funny NCAA bracket style thing for the Mets. So think of the NCAA bracket, right, for the tournament.
We might see it again next week.
And it comes out every year about the dysfunction of the Mets and the funny, all the crazy stuff that's happened for the New York Mets. And you can do like an NCAA style and take it down to who's the champion. Like Vince Coleman throwing the firework outside of the car and blowing it up in front of people. I mean, it's got crazy stuff. There's drugs, there's arrests, there's David Cohn doing something he shouldn't have been doing in the bullpen, got caught doing. It's funnier than hell. But that was the environment every day you were in. McNeil shows up every day and he's like looking around going, all I got to deal with is Martin Gallegos? And Martin Gallegos has had that interaction. Martin told us where he's like, yeah, McNeil's like, you're it. That's it. So I can just show up and play baseball? This is awesome. So as we sit here and talk about all these guys, don't forget about the veteran, the guy that's been to the All-Star game, the guy that's won a batting title, the guy that's played in the playoffs. Well, we got two guys who played in the playoffs.
What, him and Severino?
Yeah, right. That's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Has Wins played in the playoff?
Andy Ibanez was a Dodger.
Oh, okay. So, that's three.
Yeah. But
you're talking about a primetime player. Jeff McNeil's a primetime guy. Silver Slugger. He's been playing in New York, winning a batting title, playing in the playoffs. And now he gets to come here and just play. And he is, like what I said about Jeter, same thing, man. They were all, and in the Mets clubhouse, they were really trying to find drama. Does Lindor hate Soto? Does Lindor have an issue with McNeil? I mean, you're dealing with all this like high school drama stuff that you got to deal with in New York. Now he just gets to play. Why not lead off McNeil? You don't want, I mean, what if he's leading off every day hitting 320?
I'm going to look.
Is that good?
I'm going to look up and see what his numbers are career leadoff.
Is that any good, though, by the way?
320?
If guys hitting over 300 leading off?
I'll take 280 leading off.
I'm saying with guys hitting over 300 leading off, would you take that?
Oh, absolutely. In his career hitting leadoff, he's a 304 hitter leadoff.
Okay, if I told you, A's folks out there right now, if I said I'm going to give you player A leading off, hitting 304, what's his on base?
His on base is 366.
Leading off?
Yes.
304, 366. Would you? We're not even putting a name to it. Just player A is going to lead off and hit 304 with a 366 on base percentage. What's the OPS?
It's just actually as high as OPS in any spot, 839.
Okay. Let me write this down. 304. This is career. How many games?
135 games.
135 games, 304, 366, and 839. 839. Okay. Here we have mysterious player behind door number one. He's played in 135 games at the leadoff spot in New York. Hit 304 with a 366 on base percentage and an 839 OPS. Would you take that from the leadoff spot from player A behind door number one?
Yes.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. See what I'm saying?
He also has 19 homers, the most in any position.
Oh my God, he's got 19 checks.
And 71 RBIs. So just putting it out there.
Hey, listen, I know I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but guy behind door number 1 looks pretty damn good at the leadoff spot. And, and you weren't even thinking that. And I've been thinking, I'm like, why don't you just lead this guy off?
He's like he's never done it before. He's a good choice now that if you don't want to you don't want to do it with the Lawrence or Shea Langoliers, you could have him lead off. Jacob Wilson obviously could be a guy too, but maybe you can have Wilson bat 5th in the lineup and then just put McNeil first. Because he's done it and he has a track record of doing it. I think the only drawback, and this is no slight, but we've heard David Forrest tell us this 1,000 times, he doesn't walk enough from the leadoff spot.
He's got an 839 OPS from the leadoff spot.
Do I care if it's a walk or a hit? He gets on base.
No, you do not. Paul DePodesta now running the Colorado Rockies, not the Cleveland Browns. The Colorado. Jonah Heim, by the way. Jonah Heim playing Paul D. But Paul DePodesta would not lend his name to the flip.
So Peter Brand.
Yeah, Peter Brand. Another one that I look at, Max Muncy went yard again yesterday.
What do you think his batting average is in spring?
I'm going to probably say it's probably around McNeil. You said it's hitting what?
360.
I'll go he's higher.
He's 419.
Wow.
3 jacks, 8 RBI, 7 walks, and a 1,365 OPS.
So we did our predictions of most home runs in the spring. My prediction was Max Muncy.
My guys,
I think I'm tied, right? Because Sodi has 3.
The leader in the clubhouse is actually, Sodi has 3, Langoliers has 3, Tommy White has 3, Rooker has 4.
See, Rook was too easy. You couldn't take.
We all took guys that weren't. Yeah. I took Brett Harris because it's always a guy that you don't think of that could lead in spring.
Yeah.
Not Brett Harris. I forget who Johnny took.
We would call picking Brent Rooker to lead in home runs chalk. You couldn't take Rooker.
I forget who Johnny's pick the click was. Spring.
It'd be like if you were doing this for the Yankees, you went Aaron Judge. You're like, no. Can't take that. All right. Has Muncy, would you say he's hitting 400?
419. Don't shortchange him.
And I know Darrell Hernandez with Team Puerto Rico. I get it. But as Muncy, I mean, he's been there. He's like, you played him like he's your guy. Is Muncy the third baseman for the A's in 2026 to start the season? It's kind of hard to look at it any other way.
I mean, the only other guy he's not going to be on the roster, but Tommy White's having a good spring, but he's not the third baseman right now. Like, he's going to probably start the season in AAA.
I mean, Muncy, you gave him the opportunity. Last year, you tried him at second. Then you moved him at third. Unfortunately, got hurt, but he's been showing you. I mean, we cannot forget Max Muncy was a first-round pick. And you've had him at third, and he's done nothing but hit over 400 for you in spring. We talked to Bobby Crosby in Las Vegas, and Crosby's like, the minute Max is just so comfortable, because obviously we've seen him play a good shortstop. Once he just, doesn't think anymore and it becomes more natural, and that just comes with time. Like anything in life, the more you do something, the more it just becomes second nature. And once third base is second nature, I mean, that's one thing people will criticize. You put a guy in a new spot and you think it's going to immediately, he's good or he's not. That's just not how it works. You've got to, as Scott Hatterberg, Moneyball, had to learn, you got to learn the position. It takes time.
Scott who?
What'd they say about him in Moneyball?
He
can't throw.
He has nerve damage. He can't throw. I was waiting for you to do the Hatterberg.
That's got Hatterberg. Well, that's John Gruden. That's got Hatterberg guy. But yeah, I mean, Max Muncy, what do you need to do to win a position? You were in a fight. You were probably the favorite going in anyway, and you go out and hit 400. I mean, you're doing everything they asked you to do. And that's one of the drawbacks, unfortunately, of going to the WBC is that you're sitting here playing every single day, and Darrell Hernandez is off with Team Puerto Rico. We've seen a big home run. I don't even know what Hernandez is doing outside of that one home run, which was a pinch hit. Muncy's playing every day. I mentioned McNeil. You've already talked about Bolte. I mean, Henry Bolte Henry Bolte would be the guy in camp that has basically said to the front office, I'm ready to go. I don't think he'll start with the big club.
He's hitting 382 in spring.
But he's going to be sitting there in Vegas mashing, going, look at me. And then probably the one thing that I look at with 10 games left is that Leo DeVries has shown everybody he is, 2 more hits yesterday, he is the real deal.
Also hitting 382 in spring.
The real deal Holyfield, as they used to say back in the day. He is it.
He has over 1,000 OPS and 3 steals along with his 2 homers.
Think of how many top prospects just don't put the numbers up early. Takes time, but they don't wow you. Your first real chance to look at a guy. This was our first real chance to say, who is Leo DeVries? Got traded last year, went to Lansing, then got pulled up to Midland real quick. I don't know about you. I wasn't in Lansing. I wasn't in Midland. This was our first chance to go, let's see what he looks like. What's he got? He's a young kid. Man, he is as advertised. Our farm director, Ed Sprague, was like, this kid's a wonder. He's the wonder stick. And he has lived up to the billing. Most athletes don't live up to the billing, right? How many times you draft a quarterback and all of a sudden you're in exhibition football and he's throwing picks left and right? You're like, oh, my God. Peyton Manning threw so many picks his first year was unbelievable.
Was it 28, I think?
It was unbelievable. Yeah. Keep throwing it, Sheriff. You'll be okay. But you know what I'm saying? Most guys show up and they don't deliver on the hype. They do not deliver on the hype. We're in a run right now. Jacob Wilson lived up to the hype. Nick Kurtz, way more than the hype. Now Leo is like, wow. That's why it's tough. Jamie Arnold is a pitcher. But these position players, these young guys that we have lived up to the hype. And that's, what'd you say Leo's hitting?
382 with 1,035 OPS.
It's just spring training. He's 19. I love how when people play well, it's just spring training. And when people don't play well, it's just spring training. These are competitions. These are professional players playing against each other. I don't care when you're playing. You are playing in a competition. Your job as an athlete is to perform and compete no matter where it is. Are they regular season games? No. But your job is to show at this point that you have the ability to play against the best players in the world. That's your job. He's 19 years old, and he has proven in this spring training, and he just turned 19 a couple months ago, that he is developed, he's mature enough that he can, at least at this point, he's not going to embarrass himself against the top. Like we laughed today about who's in the Padres lineup. Whether you're in the big leagues, you're in AAA, these are the best players in the world. You are teeing it up against the best players in all of baseball. Minus the guys who are at the WBC, but you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the highest level of competition. Even though it's spring training, these are the best players. And you just turned 19 years old, and you're exceeding. You're not hanging in there. You're not treading water. Leo DeVries is succeeding. That is an unbelievable sign. Because you know what we would say if he was hitting 182? If Leo was hitting 182 right now, we'd be saying, it's just spring training. He's 19.
He's not ready yet.
Right? So you can't win either way. He's hitting 380. It's just spring training. Well, he's hitting 182. He's young. It's just spring training. I'm going to be a glass half full guy on this. I think it's phenomenal that a young man who basically would be 1 year out of high school if he was coming from the United States. He'd be 1 year out of high school hitting 380 in spring, his first spring training with the big boys. That to me is unbelievable.
And plus, he had the 2 home runs against the Dodgers, and Dave Roberts raved about him after the game too. So you got the two-time defending World Series champion and the manager raving about you after a game you put up in spring training against the Dodgers at Camelback Ranch. Was that game?
Yeah, I was there.
Was it there? Okay, yeah, because we already played the Dodgers.
Oh no,
it was at Holcomb. Yeah,
because we were in Vegas.
Yeah. So it was there. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, give the kids some love. Give these guys some love. Stop with this spring training doesn't matter stuff. It does matter. Max Muncy's going out to win a job right now. A real job in Major League Baseball. There are 30 third basemen in Major League Baseball. He's trying to be one of them. He's trying to win a job. Stop with this nonsense that spring training doesn't matter. These guys are competing for jobs. Leo is showing you, hey, I'm ready, or I'm close to being ready. 19 years old, and he's putting up those numbers in his first real look. And you're saying that doesn't mean anything? That's garbage. Hot garbage. Because what are you going to say if he goes to Midland and he rakes? You going to say that doesn't mean anything? How many times? I mean, Jacob Wilson. He's hitting 400. It's the minor leagues. We always try and downplay everything. Jacob Wilson is hitting 400. Gets promoted. He's hitting 400 again. I mean, the kid can hit. All you can do is play the competition and where they put you. And if you succeed, you gotta give guys their props. So what Henry Bolte has done, what Leo DeVries has done, where else do you want him to play? What else do you want him to do? Where else do you want him to go and perform in front of you? They've done what you've asked. They've exceeded your expectations.
I think you can throw Tommy White in there too after the spring he's having. I mean, he's lower. He's like the 9th best prospect in our system, but he's hitting 435 in spring training with 3
What do you want him to do?
Yeah,
it's just spring training. Well, then where do you want him to go do this then? This is the opportunity. This is where you employ the young man. This is where you told him to go work, and these young men are succeeding in front of you. Where else do you want him to do it? Right? That's what always drives me nuts when they're like, it's just spring training. And then you'll have guys that get up to the big league level that have been around, and it's the veteran thing. And you're like, I mean, we had Gio Urshela last year. Remember people were trying to sell us Gio Urshela? I mean, come on. Where are we going next?
Do you want to play Sodi or Dallas Braden?
Let's do Dallas Braden. This is a very interesting conversation because this is not Dallas Braden, the guy who threw the perfect game. This is not Dallas Braden, the broadcaster. This is Dallas Braden, the coach. Next on A's Cast Live.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snack. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'sCast. That's athletics.com/A'sCast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'sCast today.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Tyler Soderstrom joined Chris Townsend to talk about his breakout 2025 season, his new 7-year contract extension, and his commitment to the future of the Athletics.
There was some conversation right at the end of the season last year with what they were planning to come to us with. So we had a good idea I knew that they were going to come to us with something in November, and they came with their first offer. Everything is a negotiating process, so there was that whole process. My agent, Garrett Parcell, did a great job at Paragon Sports of kind of let me and my wife and my family just kind of sit back and let them kind of handle all of the whole process of it. And, we ended up coming to terms. So it was something that I wanted to do. I mean, I love this organization. I got drafted by them. My relationships that I've built, that's what's important to me. So I'm just excited, to be here for the long term. And, like I said, just super blessed.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 A's season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01, honoring the franchise's 1901 founding year. Join the list for early ticket opportunities and support youth baseball and softball in Southern Nevada. Visit athletics.com/Vegas.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, class...
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
All right. Oh, no, I just lost it.
We'll find it. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on A's Cast.
As you know, I'm a big coffee guy. I always kind of drank coffee, but when I stopped drinking booze years ago, and I got more into coffee. And it's been interesting to me that Team Italy has espresso in the dugout. They did that the last time around, but now it's getting a lot of love because they're actually winning. And they're calling it beaned up. They're getting all beaned up. I love me some espresso. Now, the question is, what kind of an espresso machine do they have? Manager Francisco Cervelli says, quote, drink coffee about 20 times a day. It raises a question. Are there any benefits of drinking espresso during a game? The answer is, well, complicated. These guys are all pounding espresso in the dugout.
It's like their home run thing. I think every time there's a home run, they take a shot of it. I think that's what they do, if I'm not mistaken. And Team Italy plays. Let me see. I have the schedule right here. Team Italy plays Puerto Rico actually starts right now. Puerto Rico and tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow is Puerto Rico and Italy at noon Pacific, and then we play Canada tonight at 5 on Fox. So Canada, U.S. for a third time, and after the women's.
Wait, we're
hockey.
playing Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, Denzel Clark, we're coming down your road.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
You're the enemy today. What time?
5 o'clock.
What a great opportunity for a sponsorship from Nespresso or somebody, right?
Get Clooney there.
First time I used a Nespresso was at the Sawyer Hotel in Sacramento when we did our Hall of Fame. The big three went in.
That was a nice hotel.
The Sawyer Hotel next to the Golden One Center. It was a big three. Who else went in?
Monty Moore.
The
G1C for us SAC locals.
G1C, excuse me. G1C, Nate, at the G1C. For the non-locals like you and myself, where do you live? I live in downtown Sacramento. And I explain it to everybody. You come out of my hotel, you make a left, and you look, and there's the Capitol. I'm literally seconds away from the Capitol. Beautiful, by the way. If you've never been to the capital of California, it's big league. I've seen other Capitol buildings in other states. They're all kind of small. Ours looks like it could be in Washington. The capital of California is no joke. All right. I used an Nespresso, and then when I was down at Pebble Beach about 4 weeks ago, they had one in the room. I'm like, this thing's badass. I mean, there's a sponsorship right there. Team Italy, Nespresso.
They make it to the final. Is Clooney in the dugout
Oh,
making
my
it
God.
for him?
Clooney's there making it for him? That's a story right there. I don't know about you. You're not a big coffee guy.
I've gotten into coffee the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, I'm slowly making my way into it. It was never something I drank before, but I think within the last like 2 or 3 years, I've gotten more into it.
I can drink coffee. I'm one of those humans. I can drink coffee whenever, and I can still sleep at night. Like Sax.
Same.
When I'm having coffee before our post-game show in Sacramento on NBC Sports California, and the A's Radio Network and A's Cast, Sax will look at me and go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "If I drank that, I'd be up all night long." I'm like, "What, really?" But Team Italy, they're all beamed up.
I think for me, coffee was a nice replacement for not drinking soda anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Soda, not good. Not good.
I'll have a Coke Zero or Pepsi Zero every once in a while, but regular soda, no.
Okay. I got this idea at spring training. And I've seen Dallas Braden back in uniform at fantasy camp. And they're joking around and ripping each other. And it's like, okay. But it was different knowing that Dallas has been doing this, but really seeing it this year. So I'm just sitting back and I'm like, Dallas is getting here early in the morning like the rest of the coaches. Dallas Braden's down in the bullpens. Dallas Braden is not, this isn't fantasy camp, kangaroo court, ripping each other, yelling at people, jokester, right? Dallas has an unbelievable personality. We know that. He's the life of the party kind of guy. That's why he's perfect for X-Player television, you know. But this, what you see at spring training, this is not Dallas Braden joking around. This is not Dallas Braden being the life of the party. This is serious, get down to business Dallas Braden, a side that I had never seen of him since he played. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to talk to Dallas, but I don't want to talk to Dallas about his career. We've done that a million times. I've talked to him about the perfect game a million times. No. I want to talk to Dallas about coaching, being a mentor, being a leader, helping people. Like what we say about Brent Rooker is a lot about like Dallas Braden. You've had the highs, you've had the lows. You know, we were looking at the Mariners earlier. Like, can you really go up and ask Ken Griffey Jr. about a career? I mean, you could, but whose career is like at 19 years old, you come up and you're already a wonder boy, right? What's he going to tell you? Because 99% of the players who play baseball will not have a career like Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr., they said, never watch video. He didn't even know who was pitching that day. Baseball was a lot different. He just showed up. He was so talented, and he's a baseball Hall of Famer. They will tell you Kenny wasn't grinding video. That's my friend Ken Griffey Jr. from our time in Tokyo, Japan together.
No, photographer.
You think he remembers our time together? I would say no. But anyway, Ken Griffey Jr., they have the stories that he would show up to the ballpark and literally did not know who the other team was throwing that day. Didn't matter. He's Ken Griffey Jr. He was so ultra talented. You know, he rolls his jock out there and he's hitting a bomb and going 2 for 4. He's just special. I'm not going to that guy. He'd be like the last guy I go to ask advice to, right? Because it's easy. It's easy. Why am I going to go to the guy, this game's hard. Why am I going to the guy who thinks this game's easy? So that's why you go to someone like Dallas Braden, who's been through it all, the highs, the lows. He understands. That's the mentor part. Then the part about Dallas Braden has been going through the process. A lot of these coaches have certifications. They have these things that they go to that you need to know about biomechanics, and you need to know about it's just not, it's not the old school days where you take a dip, you take a can of Copenhagen, take a dip, and you sit behind a guy and go, looks good. Those days are over. Now get your arm up. You're a little behind it. Those days are over. We've got high-tech cameras. We've got technology. You've got to be able to know what this technology does. You've got to understand how human beings work. And so Savali's going today. Savali's body is different from Severino. Severino and Savali are different than Morales. All these right-handers are different sizes, different weights, different, Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, talks about some guys are driving off the mound. Much taller players tend to fall down the mound. Everybody's different. Left-handers are all different arm angles. Well, you got to understand, and then you're going to be switching all this stuff with guys, and you're going to tell guys how to change things and work on things. You've got to be educated on the craft. And Dallas is. So that's why I wanted to do Dallas Braden, the coach, not the player, not the broadcaster. Once again, Dallaire, our boss, is always like, make sure you tell everybody he's not leaving NBC. He's not leaving NBC.
He's on the call today with Chris Carey on NBC Sports California.
Yes. But it is something that could really be in his future. Because I believe Dallas Braden could be great at it. I think Dallas Braden could be a great coach. Because a great coach is a great teacher. I think Dallas has that in him where he wants to help these young men get better, and he's got the past experiences that can help these guys. Here is our conversation down in spring with the coach, Dallas Braden. Now joining us here on A's Cast, Dallas Braden, and this is a very unique opportunity for us because we're going to highlight a different part of Dallas Braden today. We've talked so much over the years. I covered him during his time as a player, so we know what a player he was. He's turned into a great broadcaster and an analyst on NBC. But one thing that we don't know a lot about Dallas Braden is the coach. And as we see Dallas Braden in uniform working with a lot of our pitchers from the major league level down to the minor league level, it is a passion of yours, and I don't think a lot of our fans know that. So let's get into Dallas Braden, the coach. What's it like for you to put the uniform on and work with all these players?
I think first and foremost, Towny, it's an incredible honor that the game allows you those opportunities, that the organization allows you those opportunities and provides a space for you to sort of scratch that itch. And I think based on the experience that I've gathered, not only as a player who's experienced highs, a player who has experienced lows and everything in between, seeing the game from the perspective that I have been able to now from the broadcast booth, it's really a kind of an everywhere in between buffet of perspective. And now that I get to talk about the game on a different level, because I have a ton of respect for our audience, and when you're watching the ball game at home, you don't want to get beat over the head with analytics for 2.5, 3 hours. You don't want to get beat over the head with mechanical information and pitch design information. And so this is an opportunity where I get to come out and I get to have those high-level conversations each and every day with guys who are either looking to refine things, who are searching for things, whether it's from a mechanical perspective, whether it's from a pitch design perspective, a sequencing perspective. There's so many different conversations you could have before you even get one leg in your pants in the morning. And I think that's what has been such a treat for me and such a blast, is talking to guys who are the best in the world at what they do and being able to have those conversations, have those back and forths. Because, from a broadcaster's perspective, we're constantly learning how to refine our craft, right? Whether it's question delivery, what you're kind of stepping back and letting unfold and tell the story without words. There's so many different ways to go about the craft, and nothing changes on the diamond. And I'm constantly learning each and every day. I think that's the most rewarding part.
Now, people think because you're broadcasting or you have your very successful podcast, you think that's scratching the itch. But there's nothing like getting back into uniform. And when you look at a lot of the younger kids, before we get to the big league guys, when you get to a lot of the younger kids, how much do you see yourself in these young guys?
I think it's easy to say a lot and not as much all at the same time. Why? Because each and every one of these arms that are rolling through the doors these days has significantly better stuff than I ever thought about having. And so it's almost...
You didn't have 101?
No, I didn't have... I wasn't working with the 22 vert. I wasn't working with the 22H. I did not have these tools at my disposal. But what they also have at their disposal is the resources now to continue to sharpen their knives, to sharpen their tools. And I see hunger and I see passion. And that's what you want to continue to mold, because we're trying to cultivate big leaguers here. And it starts with the mindset. It starts with the level of expectation. When you put the green and gold on and you walk through the doors of the Lou Wolf complex, you are now being paid to do this And this is now more than just a craft. This is something that we're going to ingrain in your DNA. And watching these young kids evolve from high school athletes to college athletes to now being professionals who do have to take it a little more serious, just on a different level maybe than they have in the past few years of their life, their career. Again, that's where the reward starts to come into play, because you see guys put their head down and become even more diligent in the work, in catch play, right? In sitting in the video room and learning how, I talk a lot about the opponent component and the self component. What are you in the room studying? Are you looking for things to figure out and clean up about yourself? Are we talking about your approach against your opponent? So the self component or the opponent component, learning little things like how to study and how to create a work plan. You know, those are so important and so pivotal in the growth of a career, and being able to kind of imprint upon these young kids at what I believe is one of the most crucial stages in their career. It's important because there's vital information that's being exchanged.
We have to remember coaching is also a lot of teaching, and you're a teacher. And I think back, because I'm older than you, back in my day, a pitching coach just stood behind you. That was it, and they looked at it. You know, things progressed as you got into pro ball from Texas Tech and then in the big leagues. But now, whether we talk about Edgertronic cameras or Rapsodo, you have all this technology. There's a teaching component. You have to help the young guy understand how the data and the technology can really help them. What's it like, Dallas Braden being the teacher, teaching them how to use this technology?
I think what's really imperative to understand is that a lot of these athletes, and maybe not so much at the high school level, and even some there, depending on where they've come from, are well informed when it comes to the information. I remember sitting down with, Jamie Arnold last year, fresh out of the draft, when he came to the ballpark and we were in the bullpen, and we were having high level metric conversations. And it became very apparent very quickly that he understands everything about himself. He understands what he's trying to achieve every time that ball comes out of his hand. And I think that's a testament to where a lot of these guys come from, but a testament to them knowing how important it is to understand what they are looking for and what they are seeing. And a big part of that for me is the association. You can look at the numbers, you can look at the video, and you can now start to draw the things together. You can start to put these things together and go, oh, I'm feeling this, the numbers reflect this. I didn't feel this, and the numbers reflect that. And so I think being able to combine those things and understand why you're seeing what you're seeing and why you're feeling what you're feeling, that's part of the teaching that goes on. Is sometimes they'll throw something in there, I didn't quite, well, here we go. Let's take a look at what we're talking about from a foundational perspective, how we're physically moving down the mound, how we're physically moving before we start the travel down the mound, and then at release. I mean, there's so many different points that you can start. And I think that's why understanding the craft and understanding how we move biomechanically is a huge asset for my pitching coach's perspective, because while we have an incredible data analytics team and we have an incredible biomechanical department, for you as a pitching coach, you're in the foxhole with these guys. You want to be able to, at times, cut out the middlemen and cut out the noise and figure out what those cues are that work best for your pitcher in the moment, and be able to deliver the information in a way that it's digestible and it's not overbearing, and you're not creating paralysis with analysis.
All right, one end of the spectrum, you have guys like Jamie Arnold, and we'll say Nick Kurtz, who come out of colleges that have a lot of technology and they know everything. But then on the flip side, this is an international game. And right now the A's, when you look around, all the different players from all the different parts of the country who speak different languages, what's it like when you have a language barrier? You want to teach this technology, but these are guys coming from different parts of the country. Communication's a little bit different. Take us through how you guys work with that.
Well, obviously, guys who come from an international background that might not be English-speaking first language individuals, they come with translators. And we have coaches all throughout the organization who, whether it's a Latino background, are able to kind of bridge those gaps. But from an informational perspective, I would be disingenuous if I were telling you that that's not a challenge at times. And I think having the patience to sit down, and this is where, again, we're learning as instructors, having the patience to sit down and make sure that you are, once again, conveying clear messages in a simplistic manner, that's where you can start to see their eyes open up. Right? Because while the numbers kind of speak to what we're seeing and might speak to what they're feeling, you're trying to explain to them that that is what's actually happening here. This is what the numbers mean, and this is why. And so while that conversation, because of the language barrier, might take a little longer, these kids are brilliant. They're bright minds. They understand the game. And that's the beautiful thing about the game of baseball, right? It's a love language, and it doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody can speak it. And when you have the folks who can bridge that gap, it makes the learning process that much more efficient. It makes it that much quicker. But like I said, I think I'd be telling you a lie if there wasn't challenges presented.
All right, let's end on this. Let's go to the big league level, because now the conversations are different, right? It's about wins and losses. This is your career. You have to succeed. There's a lot of pressure. You've been through all of that. I think of like left-handers we've talked about. Your changeup was a pitch that was such a weapon. You could throw it at any time. I've had conversations with guys like Hogan Harris, Brady Basso. They've got that curveball they can throw at any time. So take me through the conversations, especially with lefties, because it changes with the big league guys. When they come to you, you have the ability to help them what happens on the field, off the field. There's a lot of things about contracts and money. Just talk about the conversations, how you're helping the big league guys.
Well, we talk about execution because we talk a lot about executing and putting money in your pocket, and we talk about not executing and taking money out of your pocket. And I think that's where you really start to see the focus ratchet up a bit, is understanding who you are and what needs to happen in certain counts against certain hitters, where location-wise you're going to make your money, and location-wise where you're trying to stay away from putting money in that guy's pocket. And so just back to understanding what you're trying to accomplish in any given at bat, back to the self-opponent component. What do you do well? And I'm a big proponent of understanding what that hitter does well, but I always like to remind guys, you get a paycheck to do this too. That means you're a bad man out there. And the game doesn't start until you toe the slab and you're ready to fire. So understanding what they do well is fantastic. Have the confidence in what you do well, because that's what's going to win the matchup. At the end of the day, we have to put the iPad aside and we have to go out. We have to strap on our jocks and pull up our socks and go get outs. And you have to compete. And knowing what you do well, I think overrides what we're going to give into when it comes to the hitter's perspective. So if you've got a big time fastball and you got a fastball hitter up there, I like your odds of putting that fastball where you want to. And I like the odds of us coming out on top.
At the end of the day, the only thing that matters, get me outs and get me innings.
That's it, baby.
All right, my boss wanted me to let everybody know he is still on NBC.
Yes.
He'll be there with Jenny and Chris all season long. He is not leaving. This is just seeing him in the uniform, coaching down here at spring training. But I got to tell you, it does look good on you.
Towny, it feels like it never left, my friend. I don't know how much better I look in it today, but it feels like I never left it.
The great Dallas Braden right here on A's Cast. And they are on today.
That's correct.
They are on in 40 minutes.
Yep. NBC Sports California, Chris Carey and Dallas Braden.
I am so angry at Chris Carey.
Yeah, well, he backed out of playing New York.
He just texted me because I texted him. I said, "Oh, this TV thing today, Chris Carey. The only reason why he's doing TV today is because he did not want any part of Know Your Padres."
And sorry, there's no questions on there about Cronenworth or Fernando Tatis.
He wanted know your Friars. He wanted no part of it. He wanted no part of Know Your Rangers yesterday.
Although he did pretty well.
Yeah, he did well. You know what? Chris Carey finally stepped up. He was pretty good.
I mean, they were kind of.
I don't think anyone's going to top Jesse Goldberg Strasser with know your
lug nuts.
It was incredible. I mean, he knew stuff that, even though he's been doing the games for a long time, he knew everything, like really random. I'm like, there's no way he gets this. He got it.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, Korach's never played Know Your
Friars.
So Korach's we'll see how Korach does with his first time playing Know Your Friars.
Korach would be really interesting with Know Your Halos old school edition.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because Ken knows not
Bobby
only
Gritch.
I'm talking about like when they first became Ken Dodgers and Halos would be really interesting. Obviously, he's going to ace A's, but I think Ken, I think you could ask Ken some obscure Angel stuff and he would know because he watched them when he was a kid.
Well, the Dodgers and Angels both come to the ballpark in West Sac this year, so maybe we'll do it with Ken when the Dodgers are here.
We were like, what team would be like Yankees? Babe Ruth, Whitey Ford. Pretty easy. Like Jeter with hits.
Mariano Rivera saves.
Is Mariano Rivera the all-time saves leader for that? Yeah. You sure about that?
I had to double check because you said his name and I wanted to make sure it wasn't
Are you sure?
I wanted to make sure it wasn't John Wetland or something like that.
Sparky Lyle. Are you sure Mariano Rivera is the all-time leader in saves for the Yankees?
Just like I think Jeter leads in hits, but I could be wrong.
I'll tell you the one that I don't think anybody would get. Who's the all-time leader in triples for the Yankees?
If you know, comment on YouTube if you know who the answer is.
And don't look it up.
Yeah, don't go
This
to
is like giving away tickets worthy, because I saw that and went, I would have never guessed that. The all-time leader, and no, it's not Mel Hall.
It's not Curtis Granderson.
Remember Mel Hall? What was the story? Mel Hall had like two cougars walking down the street. Cougars and animals. Two cougars walking down the street. They were like illegal.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
that.
I had to clarify that real quick. He had two cougars walking down the street. I think it was cougars. Like they were total animals that you cannot own.
Well, keep that question in mind for Korach. He's in the backstage. He's backstage, as we like to say on StreamYard. He's waiting. He's waiting in the wings for his 12:30 time. So maybe he'll know the answer to the who's the all-time triples leader in Yankees history.
All-time triples leader for the Yankees, and it's not Deion Sanders.
It's
Yankee great.
And Chris Carey, I know you're listening. It's not Jazz Chisholm.
It's not Cody Bellinger. White Sox, I think, is going to be tough. I think Ken would be good at White Sox because he did White Sox games. But the White Sox would be tough because they haven't had a whole lot of.
I asked my favorite question.
White Sox have been around for 125 years or whatever, and they've been to the playoffs like 11 times.
Yeah, that's my favorite question to ask. How many times have they been?
Isn't it 11?
I think it's 11. Yeah.
I mean, they literally are a terrible history when it comes to postseason play.
Their best run was the last couple of years when we knocked them out in 2020 in the COVID year. As Ken exclaimed at the end of the call when Hinge got to save the A's vanquished some demons today when we won that series at the Coliseum in front of cardboard cutouts.
And then we would go down to Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium years ago was a pitcher's ballpark, and we went down to Dodger Stadium playing in the day against the Astros, and it became home run derby.
Yeah, don't tell Chad Pinder that. He had a bunch of bombs.
Oh, you know what? Is Ken waiting in the wings?
Yeah.
Do you think he can hear?
Oh, he can hear.
Ken, what was the ballpark the old school TV show filmed in Los Angeles, the City of Angels? What was the name of the ballpark that they filmed? Did you ever see the old home run derby show?
No.
It's Mickey Mantle up against, whoever. They used to have a show in the off season, black and white, called Home Run Derby. And you'd have like greats. Willie Mays against Mickey Mantle. They'd pay these guys, and there'd be an empty ballpark. What was the name of the ballpark, the old TV show, Home Run Derby? It's in Los Angeles. Will Ken Korach know the answer? Next, right here on A's Cast Live.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
'25 All-Star Brent Rooker joined Towny on A's Cast Live to discuss the special bond in the A's clubhouse.
There really is, and it's developed over the past several years since I've been here in 23. The guys who have kind of been through the rebuild, and a lot of them came to the minor leagues during that time, and got here in 23 or 24 or whatever it was, and it makes coming to work fun when you like the people you work with, and you like the guys that you're hanging out with, because we're together for 8 months. We're together 8 hours or at least 8 hours a day every single day. So we're hanging out, and it makes it easier to perform, easier to improve, easier to want to show up and grow as an individual and as a group when you like the guys you're doing it with.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snap. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more.
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, when you are a team that has great history, you have to have a voice. You got to have somebody who's a Hall of Famer, the voice of summer. We are lucky to have him, the great Ken Korach, on the call today. And he joins us now on A's Cast Live. Ken, how are you?
Hello, Towny. Hello, Commander. How are you guys doing?
I think these silly games, you're going to ace everything. I already know you know the answer, but what was the ballpark in Los Angeles?
Nate Colbert. Nate Colbert.
Randy Jones. What was the ballpark in Los Angeles where they played Home Run Derby, the television show?
Wrigley Field, which is where the Angels played in their first year, which was 1961.
If you had to do old school Dodger trivia or Angels trivia, where do you think you'd be better?
I think I'd be equally good.
Yeah,
with the two of them.
Yeah,
my dad took me to Wrigley Field to see the Angels play the Yankees that year when they had Mantle and Maris in the home run race. So in 61. So that was a lot of fun.
Where was it in Los Angeles?
Downtown LA. The reason it was called Wrigley Field was because of the Wrigley family.
Yeah.
Because they own the AAA team that for years, the Los Angeles Angels AAA team in the Coast League, and they were a Cubs affiliate. And so they own the team, they own their AAA club. They also own the island of Catalina.
Yeah, the Cubs used to go and play there.
Which is where the Cubs train for a few years in spring training. So, yeah, Mantle and Maris in 61 had that great home run race, as you know.
So my wife and I, the first year we were married, I took her over to Catalina, and they still do the tours. You can go up to the field where the Cubs used to play is still there, and it's just crazy to think that a Major League Baseball team used to be there. It's unbelievable history. By the way, it is tournament time, and what a lot of people need to realize is that Ken Korach has done a lot of sports in his career, and he's done a ton of college basketball. I'm not going to ask you, is it the greatest thing? But everybody who does play-by-play just says there's an energy, there's a buzz, there's just something different about doing NCAA tournament games as a play-by-play.
You know what was really fun about it? The first time I did a tournament game was in '98 when UNLV played Princeton in Hartford, Connecticut at the Hartford Civic Center. And the day before, all the teams practiced for an hour. North Carolina was in that regional. And that was about as fun as the game itself because you'd really get a taste of the tournament. 8 teams practicing. They each had an hour on the court. So that was a pretty big deal. All the fans were there, of course, so open to the public. And it was kind of a walkthrough for the teams. It wasn't really a full-on practice, but that was a lot of fun.
And the pressure that these kids are under, because all these games are on some type of national platform. It's win or go home. Everything that you've done, all the practicing that you did in the fall, we're now in March. I mean, talk about what the pressure was like, because I know you could feel it as a play-by-play guy.
Well, and especially in that game, because UNLV had a great conference tournament. Yeah, to win the tournament, to qualify, and we're playing really well. But then they wound up playing Princeton. And in those days, I think I mentioned this on the broadcast the other day in Vegas, it was like getting a root canal to have to play Princeton.
Yeah.
So it was, they did the back doors and slowed it down and all that. So it was the worst matchup you could have possibly had if you really were trying to make your mark in the tournament. So that was a one and done situation for the Runner Rebels.
We talked earlier about some guys who are making some great impressions this spring. You're going to have Gabe jump, not in your game today. He's going to be overtaking pitching against the Brewers. But when I think of guys like Henry Bolte, I think about, DeVries at 19 years old playing against this type of competition. Tommy White. Just talk about some of the young players and how there's no question they've made a huge impression on the front office.
And as you know, because you've talked about it, because of the WBC and some of the guys being gone, that's opened up opportunities for the young players. No, they've been great. And we've always, you temper your enthusiasm and your expectations during the spring, but all you can do is talk about what you see. And what you've seen has been at times spectacular, like last Sunday in Vegas, Towny, when Henry Bolte and Tommy White were batting back-to-back in the game against the Angels, and they combined to go 7 for 8 with 3 home runs and 5 extra base hits. And it's just so great watching Bolte play, because he's a big guy, but he can fly. When he gets a double or triple, Towny, and you see him, the tight corners running the bases. So, and obviously DeVries, his first base hit yesterday was against Jack Leiter, and he drilled a 2-base hit down the left field line, batting left-handed, going the other way. So those guys have been really impressive.
Does DeVries look 19, just turned 19 a couple months ago to you?
No, and the thing, I was talking to Bobby Crosby before the game, and he just has an instinctive ability to play shortstop where his hands look soft. There's nothing stiff about the way he goes about his business. He's a natural shortstop.
Yeah, definitely when you look at the athleticism, he's the type of kid that you think can absolutely play anywhere. Is it hard to believe we only have 10 more games left in spring training?
A week from Monday, we'll be flying to Toronto, Towny. Wow. And 2 weeks from today, the A's will open the regular season.
That is unbelievable. Before you know it, are you ready? Is the great Ken Korach ready to go for 2026?
I think I need to get my word count up just a little bit more. I need some more reps, Towny.
All right, a couple more reps. Well,
yeah, a couple more reps.
We're going to challenge you today, since the Padres, we do this with every single team.
Ed Spezio.
Today is going to be Know Your Padres. Are you ready, Commander? I think Ken Korach. I went through this already. I aced it. I think you aced it. No problem.
Well,
downtown Ollie Brown.
We'll start with the first question we asked before we went to break, Ken. Who's the Yankees' all-time leader in triples?
Oh, you know this.
I don't know. I'm guessing Yogi Berra, but I don't know.
It's Lou Gehrig.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a great call. Yeah.
Most of the Yankee stuff's pretty easy, right? Because it's either Babe Ruth, Whitey Ford, or Jeter. It's pretty much. But all right, let's Know Your Padres.
Okay, Ken. First question: what year were the San Diego Padres founded?
1969.
Ken Korach, 1 for 1.
You're not going to get him.
Which manager took the Padres to their first World Series appearance?
Dick Williams, 1984.
Even though
you're not going to get him.
Who was the first Padre to hit 50 home runs in a season?
The first Padre to hit 50 home runs in a season is a great question.
It's 98. It's 98. 1998.
A World Series team.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was a Brewer.
They lost to the Yankees in the World Series that year.
He was a Brewer. He was a Brewer before. Outfielder.
Greg Vaughn.
From Sacramento.
All right. That's 2 for Korach. All right. Or 3. Which Padres player once hit 5 home runs in one day, meaning there was a doubleheader?
Dave Winfield.
That's close.
You already named him.
Nate Colbert.
Nate Colbert.
There you go.
Okay, Nate Colbert, first baseman.
Who is the only Padres player to win the MVP award?
San Jose State Spartans.
Caminetti.
Correct.
Oh, by the way, both Caminetti and I wore number 21. So when they're ready to retire it for both of us, for what we both
But he didn't beat Stanford on the mound at Sunken Diamond.
He did play for you at Team USA though, and I never got
That's
invited
true.
for that.
Yeah.
You were on the others to be considered list.
Yeah, I never got invited.
Enzo Hernandez.
How many pitchers have won the Cy Young Award while pitching for the Padres? So I just need a number of how many guys have won it while
2. 3. Randy Jones in 76,
That's
right?
one.
They've had 5.
They've had 5. Randy
They've
Jones.
had 5. Wow. Wally
Gaylord-
Fingers win it?
Gaylord
No.
Perry,
Right.
Mark Davis, Jake Peavy, and then Blake Snell won it a few years ago.
Wow. Mark Davis, the left-hander.
Oh, I love this one about rookie. That this guy played in Vegas.
Who was the last Padre to win the Rookie of the Year award as a member of the Padres?
Either Robbie Alomar or Sandy Alomar.
Catcher. Played in Vegas.
Sandy Alomar.
Sandy.
No.
Sandy.
Benito Santiago.
There you go.
That 1987 was the last Padres Rookie of the Year winner.
And I believe he had the record for a hitting streak for a rookie.
He did. In fact, Sandy Alomar was the second best catcher in the National League in 1989, but the Padres didn't want him to sit behind Benito Santiago, and so he played in AAA that year.
Would you say that Sandy Alomar Jr. is the guy who had the greatest professional career, like when I think of how many games he played in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think so. If he hadn't had bad knees, he might have been a Hall of Famer. He was that good. He really was. Now, they've had some great players in Vegas over the years, including Jacob deGrom. You could start there. So they're, and in fact, Robbie Alomar played there too.
The thing about Sandy is because of Benito, Sandy spent a lot of time playing in Vegas.
He was the player of the year in the minor leagues and had to repeat AAA after that. I mean, think about that, you know.
What do I got to do?
What do I have to do, man?
If there was a DH, he would have been up. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, I did this one just for you because I know you love interleague play. What year was the first year the A's and Padres played against each other?
Against each other?
Yeah.
1997.
First year of interleague, nailed it.
I mean, it's like easy for him.
Yeah. Which pitcher was high on LSD when he threw a no-hitter versus the Padres in 1970?
Doc Ellis.
I am the last manager to take the Padres to the National League Championship Series.
Oh my God!
He's a good friend.
Freddie Black.
He's your friend.
Bochy. Oh, I got Jenny helping me here. Bochy.
Bob Melvin.
Bo Mel. Who's in the? Who's? You didn't help. Come on. Bo Mel's at the ballpark today. We were talking to him before the game.
Right, last one.
So Jenny. It was my. I mean, I struck out on that.
All right, Ken. Last one.
Who was the manager who took Clay Kirby out of the game when he had a no-hitter going and pinch hit for him in the 9th inning?
That was in the.
What year was that?
That was in the 70s, right?
It was like 70s. Yeah.
Jerry Coleman.
Preston Gomez.
Preston Gomez. Remember Jerry Coleman took over for what came out of the booth?
He came out of the broadcast booth.
Could you come out of the booth?
I don't think. You're not going to see me with a uniform on.
Why not?
You can wear a suit.
Yeah.
Connie Mack did.
Can you imagine how good you'd be with the media after the game?
And I'd be 0-162 with on the field.
I would love to. All right, one more, and this is a fun one.
I am the all-time leader in assists at San Diego State and was drafted by the San Diego Clippers in 1981.
His son is doing color on the Padres radio broadcast today. Yeah. Tony Gwynn.
Tony went 590 assists, still the all-time leader at San Diego
That
State.
is the thing about, like, people don't realize. So Tony Gwynn is the only guy to be drafted by a big league team and an NBA team in the same year. And you think of all the success San Diego State has had now. They've gone to the Final Four, put a bunch of guys into the NBA. Tony Gwynn is still the all-time assist leader at San Diego State.
How many Ford C. Frick Award winners have they had as Padres broadcasters?
Dick Enberg's one, right?
Yeah.
One.
And you just mentioned him.
Jerry Coleman. Because
Yeah.
I don't think Teddy Ballgame got one.
My guy, Ted Leitner, I loved him to death. Ted Leitner was the best when I was a kid.
Yeah, Teddy.
All right, Ken, you have a wonderful call. Do you have games this weekend?
I have tomorrow, and then not Sunday, and I have Monday.
All right, my friend, have a good call and enjoy.
Okay, boys.
Weather's beautiful down there, right?
It's warm. It's going to be really warm next week.
Ooh, I'm
Like
hearing
107 next Thursday.
107.
107.
Welcome to spring.
You saw that they changed the starting time of the game a week from today.
Yeah.
To a night game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have a good call, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Ken.
The great Ken Korach just aced it.
Well, we didn't ask him the most challenging one.
Which one?
How many managers has AJ Preller had during his tenure as general manager?
I got it right.
You did. You did nail it.
9, and then you're like, who are they? I couldn't give you them all.
I can tell you them. I have them all written down right here. Here's who they are. Since Preller took over in August of 2014, he's had Buddy Black, Dave Roberts, Brewers manager Pat Murphy, Andy Green, Rod Barajas, Jace Tingler, Bo Mel, Mike Schilt, and now Craig Stammen.
Like, a lot of those guys are interim guys. Like, Dave Roberts was an interim guy.
Barajas was an interim
guy.
And I'm pretty sure Pat Murphy, I think, was an interim guy, too.
Yes.
So there you go.
And he just got another contract extension.
Yeah, and with the Brewers. So, sorry. Yeah, Preller did, yes. With one NLCS appearance.
AJ Preller. But you know what? He's good. He's good for business. Because he's like a crazy Billy Bean. So at like, there's like Superman and then Bizarro Superman. He's like Bizarro Billy Bean.
It's a really good episode of Seinfeld, by the way.
He gives us stuff to talk about at the trading deadline. He does crazy stuff, right? And he gave us Leo DeVries.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You know what? Let's save Sodi. I want to do the Julio Rodriguez.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Do you have that?
Because we have Savali, too, we could use. But, yeah, I have the Julio Rodriguez.
Julio Rodriguez playing for the Dominican Republic. So he's asked that you have the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's like it's about 26 seconds audio.
All right, let's play this. He's being interviewed after a game.
Winning the World Baseball Classic or the World Series? You can't choose, can you?
No. I mean, being honest though, like I love the Mariners. They know I give my best for them every single time that I step on the field. But winning a World Baseball Classic will be top of the list. This is for my country, this is for my town, this is for my people, my neighborhood, like everybody in the Dominican Republic. So I would say winning the World Baseball Classic will be number one.
Now, I sent you that tweet, and if you go through that thread, which I did, it is crazy. There is I totally understand, you're playing for your country, I think it's great. And then there's the funny ones that are like, well, of course he's going to say that because he's never going to win a World Series with the Mariners. A lot of those are funny. And then there's the people who are like, this is a joke. It's an exhibition. It's 8 games. I think you win. If you win it all, you play in only 8 games. This is, I've said, the WBC, let's be honest, you can all do your playing for your country, but it's really a cash grab for the owners and the players union. Our game is about October. You make your name for yourself and your career in October. Some people saying, if I'm the Mariners or there's some merit, trade him now, right? Yeah, of course he's going to say that. They choked in the ALCS. It was so divisive.
There was another one too. It was like so I saw someone quote tweet something saying, well, they Mariners are doing a great job of destroying the clubhouse culture of this WBC.
Randy Rosarena and Cal Raleigh won't shake hands. I mean, it's just like, you know what? I have no problem with what he said. I have absolutely no problem with what he said. You're in the moment. You're wearing the jersey of your country. Whether it's a glorified tournament in March, you make it more for you. And I think the other thing that we have to realize, and I think we're kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff, like we've been talking about this thing being the All-Star game, changing this and making it all of a sudden Jason Stark now does it. And everybody goes, that's a great idea. You got to remember, as I said earlier, the Dominican does not send a team to the Winter Olympics. The country has not done very well in the Summer Olympic Games. So this is really, to them, in a way, even though that some of us really look at this as what it is, and but to them, this is kind of like their Olympics. We gave you the gold medal count for the Dominican and some of these countries all time. I think the Dominican was 3 or 4.
Yeah, I have the list still on my sheet here. The Dominican.
I mean, all these.
Yeah, they're lower. They only have, I think it says they only have, according to the website I found, they have 4 gold medals.
All time. And we should even look, what were the events? They've only won 4 gold medals ever, right? We've got Olympians who have won way more than that. You got a guy like Carl Lewis did that in 1 Olympics. I mean, Michael Phelps has won 23 golds, 28 medals total.
Yeah, 23 golds.
Michael Phelps has more medals in a lot of countries. So it's like, I get it. I understand it. You're in the moment. But why do we feel we have to all go on and have our opinion? It's like, save it, man. Save it. If this kid believes this, allow him. And you know what? I agree with him in some ways. I would love to see him win the WBC and never step foot in the Fall Classic. I agree with him. Win all the WBCs you want, Julio, and make that the greatest thing that's ever happened to you. Now, he said he cares about the Mariners. Of course, he wants to win the World Series. But you know what? He's our rival. He's going to be there a long, long time. He's got many, many years to play and grow as a player. And I got lambasted by Mariner fans because last year was like the first series of the year, and we're on NBC, and Shooty Babbitt goes, he's a superstar. And I go, superstar? He may be, but as of the start of last season, was he a superstar? The first series of last year. What he's done in his career, do you view that as superstar?
Probably not, no. Plus, he's historically known the last few years as a second-half player. So
well, whatever, but he could be a great player.
Yeah,
Maybe he is a Hall of Famer someday.
And he's still young enough where it could happen.
But since he's our rival, I kind of like how much he cares about the WBC over the World Series. Put that into the universe. Win the WBC. Have that satisfaction. And see the World Series as secondary. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with any of our rivals' players viewing a tournament in March being bigger than, the grind of the 6.5 months, the grind of the postseason, to win it, to have all the glory. What do they put on your World Series plaque? I mean, what do they put on your Hall of Fame plaque? You don't have a World Series plaque. You know what I'm saying, though? What do you?
I was going to text you last night. Like, is this going to go on us? Will it go on us Hall of Fame plaque?
It doesn't go. As of right now, this stuff doesn't go on your Hall of Fame plaque. But if players want to view this as that, yeah, that's satisfying. Because that's the thing that drives certain guys, the great ones. What drives the great? What drove Tom Brady? Wasn't winning something in training camp. What drove Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls. As I talked about the other day, we're now conditioning our players that a tournament in March means so much. Okay. But eye on the prize is greatness is about winning the championship. What drove Tom Brady was Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, and nothing else mattered. And that's kind of the mindset you want to be somebody. It's tough to win these things, right? It's tough to win the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup Final. It's tough to win the World Series. It's a mindset in some ways. Some guys never play in it. Some guys never win it. Some guys just win it once. I would love my star player to the World Series is the greatest thing in the world. But do not rip this kid. You're asking him when he has a Dominican Republic jersey on and he's representing his country. It was not a wrong answer. I thought it was really, once again, I like athletes to say something. He said something. And you know what? He was thoughtful about it, because if you watch the video, it wasn't like she asked me and me. He like, hey, listen, love my Mariner people. They know how much I love. It was a thoughtful question. Mm-hmm. We have a young athlete. He's a good looking kid. He's a very talented kid. And he gave a very thoughtful answer. We should not be ripping him for that. Whether you agree with him or not, you shouldn't be ripping him for that. And once again, we all need to understand, too, when you come from the Dominican Republic, this is not a place that has great international sports history. Technically, they're kind of irrelevant. They've won 4 gold medals, and I don't even know when they were and what they were in. This, to these guys and to a lot of the Dominican people, this is like the Olympics to them. So we may see it, we can all see things in different ways. We can see this as a glorified tournament that happens every 3 years that people only started really caring about, last time around?
Yeah.
Clearly, when it was here, I don't even know, was that 15 years ago in San Francisco? Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Real quick before we go, one guy that maybe just is talking too much and needs to stop is D-Row. I love you, but
wow.
He just keeps inserting his foot into his mouth every time. He had one yesterday where he talked about how they knew that, there's a bunch of false narratives out there. They were, Team Italy was 2-0. They were 2-0. It's like, bro, you were 3-0 going into the game. Like, you gotta know that. So he's making himself, a lot of people are coming down his road on social media.
Are you saying being on MLB Central every morning on MLB Network is far different when you actually have to be the guy?
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Hey, it's a lot easier doing what we do than having to be Marcotte.
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier than being in uniform. And yeah, there's been some people who have kind of come down his road. Like I'm not the shine is kind of off right now. So We'll see what ends up happening. All right, coming up, we'll be back next week, 11 a.m. on Monday. Up next, it is the Athletics and the Padres. And enjoy weekend baseball. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.